Hi, my soapy friends. We are going to do a horizontal cut design, and it's a spin swirl. We're also going to play with some Rainforest Chica, amazing Brazilian clays, and a little bit of an exfoliant. Here I go, mingling the name, guarana. Guarana? Guarana. We're going to use this as an exfoliant. I think I'm going to put it in with the red layer. I want 5 colors. So I have Rainforest Chica's black clay. Then we're going to use some of the last of the gray clay I have. The red with the guarana powder. So we'll have a bit of an exfoliating layer. And then I have these samples she sent me of some pink. And I've used this purple too. This is not the intense purple she had. This is, I believe, her standard purple. And again, her colors kind of change depending on when they were harvested. And because it's a natural product. We're not making these in a lab. These are coming from the earth. So sometimes the purple's a little bit different. The red's a little different. And then we're also going to use the white. Now, not because white to color it white. I don't find that kaolin clay really colors soap, but I want clay in all of the layers to keep things consistent. And we will get a little bit more of an opaque, so I mean, it'll affect the color, but we're not going to get a white bar of soap because we added white clay to it. All right, let's go ahead and get some of our oil set up. So I don't normally do this many colors at a time, so I only have these 4, and I'm actually going to use this as my 5th color. Get the rest of my oils. So this is my go-to vegan palm-free base recipe, but I am adding some butters. We have some cocoa butter, and I have more from Rainforest Chica, her cupuachu. Again, Chica, I just need to record you saying these names so I can dub them in. It kind of has, like related to cocoa butter from my understanding. It has, so I'm going to add these in here. Now, I'm hoping I did not warm them up too much. We're going to take a temperature of our oils after I get them mixed in here. I microwaved them and they were warm. I mean, I didn't overheat them. Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good. Oh, yes, we're at like high 80s, low 90s. I was just worried they were going to be a little too hot for temperature of our overall oils, because this pour that we're going to do needs to be really fluid. So I didn't want hot oils. I have my sodium hydroxide pre-measured out, and we need to get our essential oils next, and yeah, then we'll be ready to start mixing some soap. So the essential oils I'm using, you can see they're pretty dark, so they will affect the color as well. And I took that kind of into consideration when I was planning what colors to use. It's patchouli, some lavender, and some orange fivefold. It has this really kind of earthy, from the patchouli, it's like this earthy citrus. And I really like that the lavender has that floral note to it that really makes me feel like this is a great orange blossom. Because we have that citrus and the floral together. I'm pretty happy with it.
I'm just quickly going to measure out all of the clays for each of the colors here, and then we'll get to soaping.
So I need to keep this very fluid because I need lots of time to work here. So I'm just going to bring things to an emulsion. See how dark that is already from the oils, the essential oils? With the butters that we've added, it has this wonderful nutty chocolatey aroma. I think that'll go well with our essential oils as well. So assuming everything behaves properly, we should be doing pretty well with everything we need to get this all poured and swirled up. You're really going to love such a fun technique. It is a spin swirl, which I did it once years and years ago. Have not done it since. So it's like a new design for me. And I'm just going to check a measurement again. Okay, I need about 620 in each. So I am going to go ahead and measure these off. So I've got the spoon and everything in here already because it's tiered out. So I can mix as I go. Meaning, since this was tiered out with the spoon in there and the clay in there, I know I have 40 grams of only my batter in here. So now I can take that moment to mix and disperse. And now I can go ahead and pour the rest up. So now this is the white, and as you can see, it does not, white clay does not make your soap white, but it will make it more opaque. And I did want to have clay in every layer. Oh, so pretty. And we'll give these another burst with the stick blender before we pour. Not much, but a slight one, just to make sure the clay is fully dispersed and that we have a nice stable emulsion. I am in love with this color. Oh my goodness, so pretty. So you can see, I believe, see those speckles? That'll be a nice, mild exfoliant in just this one layer. Plus we get speckles. I'm a fan of speckles. Okay, last one is our black. Look how dark that is. This has maybe a third as much clay as the other colors. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm going to give each of these a little burst with the stick blender, and I'm going to go in this order by color. Okay. Again, just a real quick little burst. I really am just making sure anything at the bottom gets pulled up to the top. Double checking my emulsion. And the disbursement of the clay. But I don't want to get necessarily a trace. I'm really just looking for an approved homogeneous mixture. More of a feel than anything. See, I'm seeing a little bit of swirls on that one as the clay got pulled up from the bottom. So you should be able to tell this is very fluid, very fluid. We're just at an emulsion on here. And that is because the design needs that fluidity to work. This pour is actually fairly simple. I am going to hold 2 colors at a time, and I'm just going to pour down each corner until I've poured everything. I'm just going to be swapping colors as I go. You can see just how thin that is. That one right there was a bit messy. Broke down too far. Trying to pour a little softer so that I don't get any color mixing from pouring. I'm trying to avoid any intentional pattern in my pour as far as which colors layer. The only thing I'm trying to make sure of is that I have contrasting colors against each other. I know that when Chas with Wild Plantanica does this, she uses her squirt bottles, which give you much more control of keeping your soap right at the surface and not breaking through. I think we're doing just fine. I also saw her do one of these where she had another puddle. She had multiple puddles going. That looked like a lot of fun too. That was a little bit of zenful bliss. So lovely and relaxing that pour was. So we have this lovely layering of all of our colors. Now for the spin part. I've seen people do this on turntables. Little Lazy Susan. I don't have one. I've also seen people just spin, so that's what we're doing. We're just gonna spin and stop. It's the stopping part that gets you the swirl. So I'm gonna spin it and then watch it stop. Oh, this is fun. Things are just kind of shifting and shimmying and swirling. I think I might stop. I got a little bit of too much blend over there. Oh, I mean, there's no too much of anything. I'll move out of the glare for you. A little extra blending going on in there. There's no right or wrong here. It's just what makes you happy. I'm not sure if I'm happy with how much swirling's in the middle. I think I'm gonna give it one more little swishy swish. Okay, here we go. There. I think I'm calling that done. It just kind of slid all over the table. I feel like I did the wrong thing. That we spent all that time pouring and now we're messing it up. And I think I'm gonna do it one more time. Because I didn't get over blending over there where I thought I was having a little bit of muddling going on. I feel like another little shimmy. So we're gonna do another little shimmy with it. And there we go. There. Oh, now look at that. I'm glad I did that. Just lovely. I'm in love. Let's go ahead and unmold this and talk about what's going on. You can probably tell. In fact, I'll lift it a little closer for you. We have some soda ash. That is because it was such a thin trace. And I did not insulate this at all in any way. If we got a partial gel, well, let's just see what we got inside. Let's go ahead and unmold this and see what things look like, and then we'll talk about how we will proceed. Okay, so looking at the bottom here, definitely partial gel. So I will be putting this through a little C-pop after the cut, just to even that out. Let's get a cafeteria tray for our cut bars. Let's grab our loaf splitter, a little filler here. Here you can see our partial gel starting to show itself. I am in love. I think these are so fun. I'm going to take these and do a little C-pop on them after the cut, and that will clear up all of this ash, and our partial gel will clear up as well. Then I think I'm going to give them a little bevel and be very excited with our amazing Spin Swirl kind of psychedelic soap cubes.
Here's a little overview of all of the bars, or as many as I could show. So much fun looking at these. Absolutely love them. I did C-pop them after the cut, and I did bevel them, and love everything about them. This was super fun. I will definitely be doing a Spin Swirl again, and if you do one, please let me know. And a big shout out again to Rainforest Chica for the amazing botanicals and clays. As always, love them. All right, my friends, thanks for soaping with me, and until next time, happy soaping.